The Paladin who could no longer see the light. There are moments when losing faith doesn't feel dramatic. No fall from grace, no thunder, no final betrayal. Just a quiet realization that the light you once followed no longer answers to your call. Welcome to the Lion's Tavern, my friend. Tonight the fire is low, the road is long, and someone has arrived who believes the darkness has won. But darkness has a habit of lying. The night the Paladin arrived, the light did not follow him. I could feel that absence the moment he stepped inside. The Lion's Tavern stood between worlds, where weary souls often wander when they can't bring themselves to quit, but no longer know how to continue. The fire burned steady, the mugs were warm, still something felt colder. The Paladin's armor was polished, etched with sacred vows, symbols of a faith sworn long ago, yet it reflected nothing. The firelight died against it as if swallowed whole. He sat without speaking, did not remove his gauntlets, did not pray. Eventually I asked him gently, "What brings you here, my friend?" He stared into the table. "I don't see it anymore," he said. "The light, it's gone." He told me his story, how he upheld every vow, stood every watch, fought every battle asked of him, how he had saved towns that would never remember his name. And still, he said, his voice flat, darkness followed me everywhere. He clenched his fist. "So if the light exists," he said, "it has abandoned me." I did not argue. Instead, I poured him a drink and watched his hands shake around the cup. "You're still here," I said softly. "That matters." He laughed once, sharp, tired. "I'm here," he replied, "but I am empty." And that was when I understood. It wasn't darkness around him. It was exhaustion pretending to be night. Before we go further, my friend, if this story feels uncomfortably familiar, if you've ever carried strength so long it turned into silence, take a moment to like this video and leave a quiet word below. You're not alone at this table. The Paladin believed he had failed the light, but the truth was quieter and far more painful. He believed the light was something he had to earn. I asked him a question few ever dared to ask a holy knight. When did you last forgive yourself? He looked up then, truly looked, as though the question itself struck harder than any blade. "I don't deserve forgiveness," he said. "I survived when others didn't." Ah. I leaned closer, lowering my voice. "The way you do when the truth is fragile. You think the light has left you. But what if it's simply waiting for you to stop punishing yourself?" He shook his head. "I was chosen," he said. "I was meant to be stronger." "No," I replied gently. "You were meant to be human." I told him something the old orders rarely teach. The light is not a reward for perfection. It does not burn brighter because you bleed. It does not abandon those who falter. The light dims only when someone believes they must suffer alone. You think you lost it, I said, but you've been standing in shadow on purpose. His breath caught. I placed a small lantern between us, unlit. This, I said, is the light. He frowned. It's empty. No, I corrected. It's waiting. I slid it closer. Light doesn't return when you're worthy, I said. It returns when you're honest. His hands hovered over the lantern. I'm afraid, he whispered. I nodded. So was every paladin who ever mattered. He didn't ignite the lantern with prayer. He didn't speak an oath. He simply breathed. And in that uneven, human breath, the lantern flickered. Not brilliant, not holy, but real. I didn't call it, he said quietly. No, I replied. You stopped pushing it away. The light had never left him. It had been buried beneath grief, guilt, and the impossible demand to be unbreakable. He removed his gauntlets then, set his sword aside. For the first time since arriving, his shoulders lowered. I thought the darkness meant I was corrupted, he said. Darkness, I told him, is often just ungrieved pain. When he stood to leave, his armor caught the firelight again. Imperfect, scratched, alive. Enough. At the door he paused. What do I do if the light fades again? I smiled. You don't chase it, I said. You rest. He nodded. Not like a knight receiving orders, but like a man finally allowed to be tired. The night did not vanish when he stepped outside, but it no longer pressed so close. And the light, it walked beside him, quiet, patient, unafraid of the dark. Some of us lose the light not because we failed, but because we carried it too long without rest. If you're walking through darkness right now, that doesn't mean you're broken. It may simply mean you're human. Rest here a while, my friend. The tavern will be here when you need it. If this story spoke to you, consider subscribing. New stories appear when they're needed most. And remember, the light doesn't leave. Sometimes it just waits for you to breathe. Hi all, Editing Lion here. Just thought I'd pop in and say a couple of things. Paladins are like my favorite D&D class. They always have been for a very, very long time. I am a D&D nerd, and I still play regularly, or at least I try to. I play some form of game or another, and I enjoy time with my friends. This episode in particular was about keeping the light inside, keeping that hope, keeping that dream alive, not thinking that it has abandoned you. I personally believe that the light never abandons us. I don't think it ever will. I think we all have that spark inside, that goodness. We just have to look for it. But I just wanted to say, hey, I see you. You're doing awesome. Okay? And like any paladin would, I would swear an oath to protect this tavern, or its patrons, or something like that. Take care, my friend. Thank you for listening to me ramble on and on about paladins and perhaps a little D&D. Take care of yourself, and thank you for watching the whole video. Goodbye for now.